Welcome to the Take 5 Summer Vibes collaboration, hosted by Jeannie's Palette and Funky Junk Inspiration. My name's Lavon, and I have a YouTube channel called Statement Designs. I also have a new YouTube channel called Tuesday Talk. And I have a channel with 3 other women called The Flippin' Bunch. We host collabs sometimes too. Tuesday Talk and Flippin' Bunch are both brand new channels, so I'd love your subscriptions. I'm quite new to resin crafting, but I'm really loving it. I bought this mold, and it's a pretty candy dish. I couldn't wait to use it. I belong to a beginners resin crafters page on Facebook, and I asked the question, can I use UV resin in this mold safely? Well, I waited, I don't know, a minute or two and didn't get an answer. Later on, it became quite a topic for discussion. Some people said, no, you cannot. But of course, I had to go ahead and try anyway. And then others answered back, yes, you can. I figured I could because it's a clear mold. So the resin or the rays from the UV lamp would get in there. So I sprinkled a little bit of some mica powder that's like a color changing one. So I thought it was really cool. But I shouldn't have done it that way. I should have probably used a brush because you could see later on right where those drops landed. So that was one lesson I learned from this experience. So there's 2 pieces to this mold, the top and the bottom. And I just purchased from Let's Resin a set of dark resin colors. So I just decided to start layering those resin colors. And I was trying to think about light to dark, then dark to light again. So I squeezed some light green in what would be the handle or the lid part of it. And then I just kept squeezing in progressive colors as I went. So UV resin gets cured with a UV lamp, and other resins that are you mix them together and then you let them sit, usually 24 to 48 hours. So, me of little patience really likes the UV resin. However, I found out really quickly that I used so much resin, it's not very cost effective to do a larger mold with UV resin. Also, not very safe to do any more than a half inch or so at a time. UV rays can't get through dark colors, so it's not a good idea to use a dark colored mold for sure. So anyway, lesson learned, bottom line with this piece was it was a fun experiment, and you'll see in the end if it worked or not. And it's definitely not something that would be inexpensive if you were to use this UV resin and sell them. So I'll let you watch. I used so much resin, I actually ended up emptying a couple bottles of clear resin that I had. Thank goodness I have some more on order. Because I really do like using UV resin to make jewelry pieces. This one's such a pretty color, but there was something stuck in there. It was like some of the resin had cured somehow because it was hard getting out of that nozzle. So I ended up getting frustrated and not using it. I'll have to talk to the Let's Resin people about that. Maybe they'll replace it. Finally, it's time to pop this into what I call the Easy Bake Oven. I love this lamp. It has a little tray, which right now I don't need to use. I am trying to get rid of some bubbles here with the lighter. I can put the link for the UV lamp in the description box for you. I do have an affiliate with Amazon, so if you do purchase it, you won't pay any more, and I'll get a little spiff. So here we go, and it's time to fill the base. I actually think it's going to take less resin than the top did. But what do I know? I follow the same procedure. And into the oven it goes. And I look at the lid and I decide it needs a tad more resin, so I do a little more filling in on the top of this one. As you can see, I used so much resin, so out of this new set, I love the colors, and I hope I can at least make a few small jewelry pieces and get to enjoy them, but I have a feeling I'll be ordering another set just like this one. I had one before that was a lot paler. These colors are definitely more intense. Out comes the jar and in goes the lid. I unmold the jar part and it wasn't too bad, but it was still a little sticky, so I decided to put it back in. I should have just put it in just like I'm setting it on a shelf, just like I'm setting it there, because you can see the top of it was nice and round. And I did. I had them both in there, but at one point I laid it on its side and then it got a little misshapen. And now I'm unmolding the lid. It comes out pretty nicely. It's tough to get these out sometimes. You really have to play tug of war with it. And sometimes you just set it down and then you come back at it and say, I'm going to win this time. So this one could use a little filing too. So like I said, I'm still a novice, and I feel like all in all the mistakes that I made, it still turned out pretty cute. You're going to have to let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this content, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Statement Designs, to Tuesday Talk, and to the Flippin' Bunch channels. Find Statement Designs on the web at www.statementdesigns.org and on social media as Statement Designs. Stay well.